Our Western culture is also increasingly post-Christian. Now, it's clear that Christianity in the West is in decline. Every metric that we look at tells us that. During COVID and after COVID, almost 40 million people walked away from the church. Declining church attendance, growing biblical illiteracy equals declining influence in the society. Church today is the Big Bang Theory. Church today is Friends. Or more recently, Sex Education on Netflix, featuring the sex lives of teenagers. That is the influence. That is the day after day after day influence that is shaping the moral education of people in our world, not the Word of God. Not the Word of God. One author says, over the last generation, Andrew Walker says, over the last generation, there has been growing acceptance of gay and lesbian relationships, declining marriage rates, and rising divorce rates, and more people living together before or instead of marrying. And all of these social changes can only take place in a context where Christian ways of understanding the world are seen as optional, irrelevant, or, as is increasingly the case, hateful and bigoted. And so there is this declining influence happening, and it's also undermining and damaging the mainline churches, which are becoming more and more post-Christian themselves. Mark Sayers says post-Christianity attempts to move beyond Christianity while simultaneously feasting upon its fruit. Now, stay with me here. Religious people, they don't want to jettison what is meaningful to them. They want to reshape it, to deconstruct it, to make it conform to the stories that are being insisted upon in the world around us. Post-Christian culture attempts to retain the solace of faith whilst gutting it of the cost, the commitments, and the restraints that the gospel places upon the individual will. Recently, Richard Dawkins a video made the rounds of Richard Dawkins talking about the fact that he's upset that Ramadan has such a prominent place within British culture at this time, and that the Christian culture is on the wane where he is. I want you to listen, like we just said, I want you to listen to this little video. He's talking, now you know Richard Dawkins, he has spent his career trying to dismantle people's belief in God. But listen to this.
I was slightly horrified to hear that Ramadan is being promoted instead. I do think that we are culturally a Christian country. I call myself a cultural Christian. I'm not a believer, but there's a distinction between being a believing Christian and being a cultural Christian. And so, I love hymns and Christmas carols, and I sort of feel at home in the Christian ethos. I feel that we are a Christian country in that sense. It's true that statistically the number of people who actually believe in Christianity is going down, and I'm happy with that. But I would not be happy if, for example, we lost all our cathedrals and our beautiful parish churches. So I count myself a cultural Christian. I think it wouldn't matter if we substituted any alternative religion. That would be truly dreadful.
Christian culture attempts to retain I love the hymns. I love the Christmas carols. I love the beauty of the cathedrals. I like what the culture brings and the good things of telling people to love one another and be kind, those things. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Jesus. Jesus can make no claims on me. But I'm not interested in jettisoning this culture that I find comfort and solace in. Cultural Christianity is not Christianity. It is not Christianity at all. To be Christian is to submit our will to King Jesus and follow Him. Jesus followers don't avoid the demands of Jesus. But what you are seeing in our world, and among the mainline churches, and frankly, it's beginning to creep into some of the evangelical churches, you're seeing a deconstructing of that which would put any demands upon us personally and leave us simply with a comfortable, comforting, encouraging, morally uplifting church. Last